Good to go.
Good to go?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, the time being 8:30 on Monday, October 13th. I'd like to call this meeting the Emergency Management Terrorism and Safety Committee to order. First of all, this meeting and all the meetings of this committee are open to the public. Proper notice has been posted and given to the media in accordance with Wisconsin statutes, so that citizens may be aware of the time, place, and agenda of this meeting. Roll call will indicate everybody is here. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Fred Zog, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Vasquez. All right, any changes, comments on the agenda? Not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. Next, minutes of the previous meeting. Motion,
Make a motion to approve as printed.
okay, thank you.
Second.
And Nygaard seconds it. Any comments on the minutes? Not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Public comment, I don't see any public in here, okay? Number one, review approved countywide hazardous materials plan.
Yep, so, we have gone through and reviewed that. I'll let Eric talk a little bit about it. We have some updates and maybe collect some signatures.
Pass that around.
You got 5 minutes to read this?
Yeah,
Got
I'll
eight.
explain the whole thing. There is a signature sheet on the very top is for Dave, everybody else will sign the 6 lines below that.
Okay.
So every year we have to go through and update the countywide strategic hazardous materials plan, strategic plan. They changed the name multiple times, but within that, it identifies who our hazmat team is, how it was organized. It goes into describing a little bit about the demographics of the county, the facilities that are in the county, how we plan and prepare if there would be a release. The very back section of that book is also a dangerous goods study from Canadian National. So it lists in there all the hazardous materials that run through the county. Gives it by train car loads and there's a lot of stuff that goes through the county. Fortunately, when it comes in from the west and exits the east or the opposite way, as long as it makes it through the county deposit anything, we're happy. We've done traffic studies in the past. We've hired contractors to go out and actually watch vehicles go by on Highway 10, 45. And the problem with that is it's a snapshot. So it's a day that they're out there, maybe traffic low, they try and pick busier days. But that traffic study really doesn't give you a good cross section of what goes through the county. We have hydrate chemical in Portage County. They transport a lot of chemicals through the county. Oshkosh has several that come back through to Wausau. So there's a lot of goods that are transported on the highway system that we really don't know too much about. Got an idea. And then also within there are all the chemicals within the county at the facilities, both planning and reporting facilities. The difference between the two planning facilities, I have to write plans, work with the facilities, identify what their extremely hazardous chemicals are, make sure that we have meters, training, things that are required to deal with it. Could have a spill. And then the reporting facilities, they have to report every chemical over a certain level or a certain quantity that they have. It might not be the real nasty stuff. In some cases, might be salt. It's used for de-icing roads, exempted, but just simple things like that. Sand in certain cases has to be reported. Diesel fuel, retail gas and diesel have higher reporting quantities, or so they don't have to file anymore originally. The majority of the chemicals that we have in the county that are planned for sulfuric acid and batteries. And the biggest thing with that is if you see a Fill with sulfuric acid, don't step in it, not going anywhere. We do have chlorine in London, we have chlorine in Manawa. Which is the gas and 150 pound cylinders. Typically, there's 2 cylinders of 300 pounds of chlorine and well site. We've had a couple minor releases where the valve has failed and released small quantities. Actually, why illegal also. And most of these are in the middle of residential neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So, but we know how to take care of them, what to do with those. We have a couple ammonia facilities, rather large ones, Agriport, Waupaca, the ice rink out here in Waupaca. There's some that don't meet the threshold. They're probably more critical. You've got 2 curling slips, one in Waupaca and one in Clintonville. That I'm not gonna say they're under the radar, but they don't meet the threshold planting quantity, but we still plan for them. This is just kind of an overview and what this does by completing this plan also makes us eligible for grant funding for the hazmat team. And that's kind of what drives the whole thing. We don't have to do it, but if we don't do it.
Just a question on, the corporation or whatever with Allegheny County, like Hillshire, for example. I mean, it's, they didn't know London would kind of respond, I assume.
Correct. So anytime there's a facility that would cross jurisdictions, then my counterpart in Allegheny County pass plans back and forth. We actually work together on them. So the nice thing about Hillshire or who are they now? Tyson?
Yeah.
The word's early in there for a while.
Yeah.
And a lot of things. Right next door to that ammonia facility, and they've got 120,000 pounds, so it's a lot. There's a nursing facility right now.
Yep.
Fortunately, it's to the west. With all the stuff close to the east, but yeah, we do work with the other counties. Pass things back and forth. Actually, part of our hazmat team is made up of members from Waupaca County and Portage County, which is a real benefit. Because we also support them with a countywide team going into their counties. So with having those members, they know their counties way better than we do. So if we do have to respond there, we have Portage County a couple times, Waupaca twice, maybe.
Twice, 2, 3 times. We did, Eric spoke a little bit about chlorine. And we did have a hazmat call in the city of New London last year, chlorine release. So at a water facility, a chlorine tank that was leaking down in the building. We were able to get it outside and solve it with a golf tee. Shove a golf tee in it, pop it in and stop the leak. But, you know, chlorine is one of those things that is out there. We do plan for it at these facilities. That was a good call. New London did a great job with it. Insulated the area. Took it very serious. Felt very well.
So some trucking companies kind of specialize, you know, you drive down the road, you see some trailers with placards on the back, some with nothing. So it's just, is there some local or from the valley that are kind of more ones that focus on doing that kind of stuff? I imagine the driver's gotta be qualified to haul that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, you'll have hazmat endorsements, and then NM Transfer does a lot. They haul a lot of different mixed loads. The scary thing is like honestly, FedEx, UPS, Amazon, they don't placard anything.
No.
So you have no idea what's in those trucks.
Or if you ever see, and I've got a picture of it, maybe I'll try and remember to bring it. A FedEx truck, we had a release, actually, Zach was first in on that one. It was a FedEx truck on a rural road up by Iowa. And the back door of that trailer had 8 placards on it.
Look at that.
We got called for the road was smoking and something was leaking.
But in reality, you open the back door and half of the product had already been delivered, and the placards were still there.
Stop out.
But
So you and had no idea what's in there.
Well, they do have bill of lading.
Yeah, well, no, but I mean, but that, as you approach it as a fireman, I remember you looked at all those stuff.
Yeah, we,
Kind of gear up what you could do, and what you couldn't do.
yeah, our size up was, we had a FedEx truck leaking, type of chemical. Road was smoking and the truck was off gas. So,
And I'll give a lot of credit to the FedEx driver. It was a gal, they came up and said, here's my papers, this is what I think it may be. So it was real good.
Yeah.
She was very cooperative. They had FedEx distribution on the line right away. Off the bill of lading from the shipper, where it was going, where it came from, which was actually going to Gusmer Enterprise. And we called them, talked to their chemist and said, what do we do with this? Well, it doesn't like asphalt. Yeah, we did that.
it was actually a pretty simple one to solve. That container inside the liquid was leaking here. So my solution was to put something under this side, turn it or whatever, vice versa. So the leak was up here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I just used whatever I had in the trailer, pallet jack, to just turn it.
Okay.
So now the liquid was no longer in the leak and problem solved. Then I could solve the problem with the container,
Yeah,
but I didn't have an active leak and
yeah.
And then
just use some physics real quick to solve.
our responsibility is not cleaning it up, it's contained it.
Yeah.
So it was contained. We had a cleanup contractor on site before we left.
Mhm.
And they offloaded enough that they could continue shipping that tote. It was 250-gallon tote to its ultimate destination, which they couldn't use because Gusmer is food processing. It compromised chemical.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did with it.
There was
I need to know.
some piece of heavy equipment in there too. It was an extremely expensive something.
What happened?
And the whole load is dead. It can't be diluted. It's contaminated, it's dead. So I remember breaking pieces of wood off of this crate holding this. I just remember it being wrapped and meticulous. I'm like, this is really expensive, but I need wood. So I just started breaking the crate to get whatever I needed. And that piece of equipment, I don't know if it came from Germany or somewhere. It wasn't going anywhere else. Whoever was waiting for it was having a bad day.
Yeah, ooh.
You guys ever get alerted by, from the PTF, that somebody might have tried to smuggle some stuff in?
Not,
Why?
Not
in the
occasionally.
past, I remember one incident where someone brought in a ridiculous amount of
What?
mercury.
Mercury.
Oh, mercury. Where
And
the hell would that come from?
I don't know,
Mar-
mercury is very, very costly to get rid of. And it wasn't me, but not too long before that, I came home and someone knew that I was on the hazmat team. And I get home and there's a pail on my front porch. I said, no. And we had this mercury in our house. I don't know what to do with it. You're on hazmat. Thanks for taking care of it.
Yeah.
42 pounds.
Wow.
Wow.
It's about $1,000 an ounce.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my gosh. Ooh.
Here, put it on eBay.
Yeah.
There was, he didn't speak English well, but, it was, no. Actually, we went through, University of Wisconsin and somebody came and got it for their lab. They were able to use it.
We were offered for our hazmat team, one of the cleanup contractors that we know offered us sodium metal. And unfortunately, you can buy it right on Amazon, not placard, comes on an Amazon vehicle, buy sodium metal. And the thing about sodium is when it reacts with water, it creates a chemical reaction. And they were called, unfortunately, Appleton Fire was called for a child who had got a hold of it and put it in his mouth. He's got burns all over and lots of chronic health problems now from it. And the dad didn't want it at all. So the sodium metal wound up at a fire department and they wanted to get rid of it. Unfortunately, I said, no, thank you. I don't want to practice or play with sodium metal, but that's kind of going back to what comes on the road. That got delivered.
You can ship 1,000 milligrams, so a kilogram, sodium metal packed in either mineral oil or some type of oil. And it's safe as long as you athletes swimming around in the soil, but as soon as it hits water or air, into the moisture in the air or your mouth, it's pretty bad.
I remember in high school, a chemistry teacher telling us about that. And they had some, and it was, I think linseed oil was in the container. And he took just a little bit out, he put it in water and it was a reaction. He was telling about somebody that, thought they were smart and they were gonna sneak some of this out in the school. And, the kid, knew he was getting followed, so he ducked in the bathroom and he went in the stall, put it in the toilet and stayed in there and boom. Yeah.
Any other questions on?
Just one quick question. I noticed on the one page here, the natural gas pipeline, there's only a map. I know you said once they're probably not overly cooperative and giving up much information, or
They did. They finally gave us.
they did.
Yeah, but it's,
I mean, all that's in here is a map, and
yeah, and the problem we got is, the emergency response plan we have for that is for the scope of the project. For when all the when all the people are there and the equipment. We don't have anything updated for the pipeline now, because that's all we have is the map, because everything's underground. So we'll work with them to get updated plans, response plans. But during the project, all we have now is the current emergency response plan for when all the offsite or off people were there to build, as you can see. So,
And some of the information that's in that book too, we have a lot of confidential information and that's open for the public. We'll post that on our webpage and put it out there for public viewing. And it doesn't show the individual feeder lines, the map on that natural gas is the major.
Major line.
cogs
it doesn't
that-
even have Waupaca.
cogs that have location.
we don't wanna, like Eric said, that one's open to the public, and when it goes on our website, we try not to give out too much with it. But we don't, as far as the emergency response plan goes to there, with the redesign and all the new, we have to rework that. So that'll probably get added into next year's update.
That map we grab off the National Pipeline Association. So, they put out there what they feel is they're comfortable with and I'm comfortable with it also.
Yeah, they finally gave in and gave us all the information we needed for the plan.
They have motion then to approve the, countywide hazardous materials plan.
I'll make that motion.
Bosworth and Zog second. Any questions, comments? Not all in favor, say aye.
Alright.
Opposed? It is approved. Next, number 2, review approved Waupaca County Emergency Response Plan.
So, ESFs, so we went through and we updated those, emergency support functions is what ESF stands for. Eric and I had meetings with public health, human services, basically all the parties that would be responding and supporting us. That's number 2 in these emergency support functions. First one was EFS 6, which is the mass care. So working with public health and getting those updated, getting all the proper people updated in there. The good news is, Dave, you're the only one that needs to sign this one. So that's the ESF 6 that we did the updates to. We'll pass that around. The headers didn't print on this one, so we have to reprint it. And then
The
ESF,
one in the book is last year's, the ones that are going around are the updated ones.
then ESF 8, that one's gonna be for the health and medical services update. Your hospitals, long-term care facilities, things like that. So working with human services. One of the things that we did is we try to really incorporate Mary's team a lot more than we have in years past, as their role is gonna be, I guess you could say, a little bit more broader, a little more wide open with us, trying to get them to understand their function and then take a little dependency off of public health a little bit when it comes to some of that stuff. So just some inner workings, better communication with them. You got that update. So.
And that whole plan, that's still part of Zach's training process. I'm a little behind with. He's a quick learner, but. So every year we are required by the state to review and update at a minimum the basic plan. Their EOC that we don't have right now, contact us, which we maintain. That's currently not in that book. We're changing some format. I have it pulled out of there. Acronyms have to get updated, and then at a minimum, we need to review all 15 support functions. And when you look through there, a lot of people are confused and think that when you have an incident, natural disaster, man-made, whatever, you can open that book and it's gonna tell you how to get rid of it. That is not the case. That the emergency response plan tells you who's in charge or who's responsible for those sections, and they have their own operations plan. We can't possibly update what highway's gonna do, what public health is gonna do. It's referenced in there, but they have their plans, they have their training, they do their exercises, they have their equipment, but it identifies. Now one matches, we're required, our plan must fall within the plans that the state uses. And then we also took that plan and scaled it back a little bit. The cities are using the same format as are the villages and townships. Just makes it easier. Everybody's using the same language.
Any other questions on that? Not, you need a motion to approve Waupaca County Emergency Response Plan.
Mr. Chairman, I so move.
Edwards.
I'll second it.
Seconds. Any questions, discussion? Not, all in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Plan is approved. Number 3, Emergency Management Director's Monthly Report.
I will try and not be too long-winded with it. Your report sitting in front of you. Again, meetings attended, State of Wisconsin Emergency Management meeting, we had that in Plymouth. Went well, had a guest speaker come in. Did some talking about grant funding and some different things, but overall, good meeting. Department head meetings, had a couple special ones and scheduled one. Crazy there. Fire safety planning meeting with the courthouse. So we had a walkthrough with Ron and his team, along with the fire department, myself, just kind of a general walkthrough of the construction, make sure we're okay over there. Emergency response plans need to be updated, or working with the contractor just to make sure that we're safe. That was a good walkthrough. Portage County Rapid Task Force meeting or training. That kind of goes hand in hand with the one down below, the RTF. They had a countywide training that they did in Amherst, and they had all their fire agencies, law enforcement agencies, everybody there. Kind of kickstarted a thing, I guess you could say, with us, and I'll get to that a little bit. But they held their training, went well. A lot of agencies involved. It was a 4-hour session on the approach in classroom, how to handle things for rapid task force. You got to evacuate a school, active shooter in school, large place gathering, things like that.
Ugh.
So they held a 4-hour class on it, and then they did 4 hours of actual instructional hands-on, running the reputations with the law enforcement, fire, and ambulance services. So that went well. County Towns Association meeting, attended those regularly. State of Wisconsin Hazmat Coordinators meeting, that was virtual. Well, coordinators update and how things are going throughout the state. County Fire and Mavis meeting, Chiefs meeting at night. Not a lot of takeaways from that. Talked a little bit about show and tell on the new rehab trailer that we have with fire departments. It's kind of nice. So if we are on an active fire, we have a place for the firefighters, first responders to go, get coffee, use the bathroom, relax a little bit. So we did use it actively on a fire over by Scandinavia. Feedback was good. A lot of departments there.
And any response agency, a large law enforcement event.
Yep.
They can ask for it. Bring it in or EMS.
Continuing with my weekly tower site development meetings with Blue Wing and GenCom. Towers are coming along nicely. Looking at the cutover or changeover for Simcoe in November. New London will be right behind it. It'll be probably December with that. Driven by on Beckett Road, New London, you'll see we have a giant tower there. Looking pretty good. That one's a big one because of the fact that right now we lease space. We're gonna pay for it, but we have a gentleman's agreement with New London to use the water tower. So we're moving all their equipment plus our equipment. So it's kind of a big project. Simcoe is just gonna be, we take everything out of the old building, put it in the new building. But in that, staying frugal and working with it, we're doing a lot of upgrades that we can with towers, control, microwaves, help bolster that infrastructure. Budget wise, we're looking very, very good. Did find that we had a capital improvement project still open for some microwave upgrades, so I'm able to incorporate that. Did work with Heidi on it to ensure that was still safe and good. CRG mapping meeting, county school updates. So we had some meetings with CRG, that's the program that comes around from grant funding to map schools. Those maps are digital and able to put into our Spillman CAD system, for law enforcement. So if law enforcement looks up that address to the high school, we'll say in Iowa or New London, they're able to have those maps right on their computers or tablets with room numbers and doors and everything. Works out well. Committee meetings, just multiple other meetings for committees. We hosted a DCI standard reunification training in Manawa. I think we had 48, 50 in attendance. So we hosted it. Department of Justice came in from the Office of School Safety. We did a little bit of in-classroom talking on ICS process, how to reunify students. If we have an active situation, we need to reunify them, how do we do it? So we had pretty much, I think it was every law enforcement agency in the county. We had firefighters, fire chiefs, public works, human services, public health, just pretty much anybody that could attend did attend. And we did actual hands-on where we made them, you played the role of a student. Now this person was the parent, and then you were the school law enforcement EMS staff. We did that 3 different scenarios and how to reunify those students, the process of what it looked like. So it was nice, the first one obviously was terrible. I shouldn't say terrible, but it was cumbersome, but it gives you a good idea of what breaks down, how to better prepare. Second one got better and the third one went very well. But it was nice to give other people a different aspect and a different view. Tim was there, the sheriff was there, and he played the role of a student. He gets that bird's eye. He gets to play the role of a parent. So you think about it a little bit different. If you get on Facebook, we did share a bunch of pictures from it. So it went very well. Feedback so far has been great. Hope to hold some more of those trainings.
If a school ever gets real good at reunification, they're doing something.
Yeah, we don't want that.
For them to do, but it's not always, everybody kind of thinks of shooter situation. More likely it's going to be fire or, gas release somewhere, evacuate one and go to another. Fortunately, they're close enough together. It's cost a huge ordeal, but it really makes you think.
Marion just had one, new construction that
Oh, yeah.
hit the gas line.
Yeah.
And,
I heard that one.
my granddaughter's just got hired to teach 4K and, okay, kids, here we go. We're going
Yeah.
down to North Winds and, walk them out. Yeah, and she said the kids were very cooperative, very good, but. Yeah. But it,
I heard that one. I think it was on a Friday too.
I don't, it could been a.
I was in the office, I heard the page and gas line struck in front of the school. I'm like, yep, it's Friday.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Do all the schools participate in this stuff?
Most, yeah, I think we had every school district,
Yep.
every administrator was there.
Even the Lutheran schools, so
Yeah, we actually even had Wild Rose, Port Washington showed up. We opened it statewide. And we had school administrators drive long ways with it. So, I was very surprised actually, when I saw the sign-in sheet, because we get the registration to the state, I get updates. And I saw some of them, but when I saw the sign-in, I was like, wow, people drove 2 hours to come to this, it was nice.
Real good representation. Every law enforcement agency was represented. One of the busing companies sent their supervisor, so they're gonna be heavily involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope to grow off of it. This is the standard reunification model one. But with the Office of School Safety offering those trainings for free, we're gonna take advantage of it. We can host more of them, and Manoa Masonic Lodge has been absolutely wonderful. They are looking to help us. They have a training budget of their own. So they want to put on trainings for county employees as well as general public as well. So we're looking at some different stop the bleed and different things that we can offer to everybody countywide, public too. They want to help pay for it, so. Which is very, very generous of them. That building is great. We met with Public Health, Human Services to review the ESFs that we signed today. Talked about, got those done. Training and events, Waupaca County Fair, we had that. We gave them our catcher radios. We had the command post over there, the VTAC 36 repeater, mobile radio tower, light towers, a lot of equipment on that. We attended the Heart Start Foundation fundraiser that was sponsored by Gold Cross. It was a great event. Got to hear about different people that were survivors of their AED program and their grants they had. Nice little fundraiser. New London High School, they did a safety drill lockdown where we put everybody in a lockdown. We walked the school as quick as we could to see if we could find any students. Happy to report that was an amazing lockdown. We didn't find a single student. Locked down tight. Law enforcement walked through it. We had probably 20 officers there, fanned out right as they went into lockdown. And it was impeccable. I mean, we walked through that quick. Couldn't find anybody. New London's very nice with their doors. They don't have any windows. So when you walk down their hallways, they don't have windows to their classrooms. So the doors are solid core doors. You can't see in. So I commend them for it because you can walk down that hallway. It's secure. It's tight. You're not going to get much. Iola Scandinavia School District, I did a safety walkthrough over there. Participated with the administrators, the new principal, all the principals at the high school as well. So I walked through the high school, the elementary school, and the aquatic center. Just doing some safety updates, walked through on severe weather plans, sheltering in place. Had a good time there. I had Paul Zeeler, the chief of police, with me. Well, time on that one. Aries meeting, amateur radio emergency services group. Met with them last week as well. I was at their last meeting, working on a large scale event that I want to get organized at the fairgrounds. I'm going to incorporate those guys to do a full scale with fire departments, law enforcement, kind of run it, see how they would set up communications, send them out, actually do damage assessment. So we're looking at using the city of Waupaca as a host for it. The fairgrounds is the command post, I guess you could say, is ground zero. We'll start with the fairgrounds as Mock City, and then it'll expand from there. But actually put them out in the field and run a full scale if there was actual damage or a tornado went through Waupaca, be able to report it, start giving us some of that real time data. Upcoming stuff, we're going to offer 2 days of first aid, stop the bleed. Command operations, we had to tear down that. State of Wisconsin Emergency Management statewide meetings I have coming up. The Aries full scale is scheduled for later this year. We had coordination of the annual hazmat physicals, so all our team members have to undergo physicals every year. Those went well. Hosted them at the fire department this year. We usually have it at our hazmat station on Swan Road, TF. The county employees working out there, we didn't want to disrupt their workplace. Hosted that offsite. More communication towers and capital improvement meetings. I have a lot more meetings coming up now that we're going to do those changeovers. So that's going to kind of be the meat and potatoes of the tower projects. We have a long-term care work group planning meeting this week, actually, Tuesday, tomorrow, at the Veterans Home. So we have that with all the long-term care facilities, retirement homes, veteran homes. That'll be good. Department of Justice reunification training. So we did host that. I'm going to have another one and out here in the coming days. The Portage County RTF training, I'm still sitting with them on whatever trainings they do and listening in, absorbing that. And then we did form the RTF countywide rapid task force. So I sent that out to all the chiefs of police, law enforcement agencies, school administrators, fire departments, and EMS that I wanted to form my own committee to help shape and mold the training countywide going forward. Happy to say that's gone well. I'm going to have our first committee meeting here hopefully within a week or two here in this room and shape the way we train and work going forward. A lot of representation from the sheriff's office, chiefs of police, 2 school administrators that'll sit on the committee as well. Give us some input and help us go forward. Otherwise, just been busy as usual. Just running around.
Question for you on some of this training exercises and so forth. Spokesman I assume is the chair.
Yeah.
We do have vice chair, when the chair is out of town. Would be good to incorporate them somehow in there, so we know where to go, et cetera.
Yep,
You know,
absolutely. Love to have
I don't know if you'd have like a communication post or something.
Yep.
So that, people wanna find out what's happening. Supposedly the chairman's supposed to know.
Yes, absolutely. Keep you in tune.
Yeah.
I'll send you the whole, so.
Exactly, just find out what the chairman's supposed to know, indicate where he's supposed to be,
Yeah, absolutely.
not home in bed, I assume.
Well,
I
yeah,
guarantee all of you will know if something's going on.
yeah, if something goes off, I guarantee you'll know, but definitely, as we roll out that training in Waupaca, I think that'd be a really good one for you guys to attend if you can.
Yeah.
Just to play your role. Get
Exactly.
an understanding of it, just because it'll be a large scale one with fire, EMS, police, Aries group. We can incorporate you into that drill and give you a little exercises.
Jesse Cuff is a spokesman or something,
He's the PIO for the county.
PIO.
Yeah, so he's the public information officer. So now technically he would do the talking to media, whoever, but it would come from your direction.
Okay.
So your direction would be to him on what to communicate. But Jesse would be your, I guess you could say your middleman between
Okay,
you and the media.
see, that's the part, I think the three of us should be. And then go through that once to figure out
Well-
who's saying what, who's gonna
Yeah, and I
receive
think
the
too,
calls and so forth.
yeah, if we have a large incident, obviously we're gonna alert you all.
Yeah.
But you would be the boots on the ground where you can say, yeah, we're gonna release this information.
Exactly.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
think what we can do with our incident, if we have a tornado come through and takes out half of Waupaca and surrounding area, rural farmland, you can work through that. How do you wanna let that out? What do you wanna share? Those kind of things. How many fatalities do we have? Those types of scenarios we can help you with. So,
There's a lot of cases when there's an incident, the PIO might just be coordinating what's gonna be said, but the news media and the citizens wanna see somebody they know, so like the Manawha flood.
Yep.
We didn't have our PIO talking to the media, we had the mayor.
Yep.
People know the mayor.
Yep.
So he was given information, was his choice, he had the final say on what went out there. But when your municipality just got devastated by something, you probably are in a different state of mind. And most people would be. That's where your PIO comes in and helps coordinate those messages going out. The worst thing is to have 3 different messages going out.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, that's a big thing I'm concerned about, is that I would shoot from the mouth and not know what I'm talking about. Jim normally knows what he's talking about, but then just the third story, now who do you believe? Oops.
So the normal process, the rest of us should stay away from the incident. They don't need more boots, but like either you or Jim could go to the command post, they would fill you in on, here's all the information we have. What do you want us to release? Then you give that information to Jesse and Jesse crafts it so that it's.
And if we activate if we activate an EOC, we have that back in the basement, that would be somewhere where you all might be able to go, not at the incident, but somewhere that you can still get that information and be involved. But like Pete said, one of you would be out there getting that information, and then Jesse's gonna be the one that's really gonna put it all together, puzzle pieces, make it sound good.
Well, back in 19, tornado went through the road. I happened to be on the council at that time. Remember the bill we had? And they showed where, kind of tracked where it all went. And basically leveled the Trinity Lutheran Church and some other things. Or trees around my roof.
Sure.
You know, and somehow we had I don't know where the cameras were, but we had a whole kind of track of this tornado going through.
Yeah, and I can tell you now, if we have large weather incident like that, with the technology we have with drones, you're gonna see the damage probably within minutes. We can send a drone up so quickly and live stream that privately. Sheriff's Department has the same drone as the fire department. They have 30 T and trees. I mean, we can send that thing up miles. We can have live stream right back here. So if we actually did, so if you remember, there was a call up by Clintonville earlier this year, severe weather, tornadoes. Fire department, fire representative called it in, so there was a tornado on the ground. They didn't know where it was going. They called it in as that. So pretty much every available law enforcement officer started going towards Clintonville. Myself and Eric, we were on our way up there, dispatched ourselves going up. Fire departments were going up there. The one thing is the drone was already en route. The sheriff's department had their drone ready to go. That could have been in the air within 2 minutes when we got there. Set up, and we would have had that live information data stream right away. So it's amazing how technology has advanced. Sheriff's office has been great to work with us as well. If they don't need it for a law enforcement avenue, they can call us and say, hey, do you need it for damage assessment? I had a pilot calling me on my way there saying, I'm ready, I'm rolling, let me know what you need.
Then I think the biggest message, that you and Jim should get out is that something like that happens, we don't need 27 bodies going up there to see what's going on. You'll inform us, and you get the
That's a
information.
good point, Deputy, too. This is how we keep you guys
Yeah.
informed.
Yeah, and that would be, well, part of it is Jesse's job, but for the board itself, it should probably come from one of you guys. But just stay away. We're just gonna get in the way of the more bodies you have just looky-looing around.
And we can release that information, you know, as we disseminate it now and get that out to you guys, you can share that with the board. You have video footage or secure links or ways to send that. Obviously, that's your call, but you can send that out. Yeah, we don't need everybody standing around looking at the same screen. So,
Yeah.
it's hard. You know?
And I'll send you a link. On Friday, there was an explosion. Most factory in Nashville, and they had 16, or it might have gone to 19 people missing now, which they have determined they all perished in the explosion. But the sheriff did just a phenomenal first press briefing. I'll send you a link to some keynotes that were in there. If he didn't know the answer, he stated, I don't know. We will have another meeting in an hour, and just, it was done very well, but very calm. He made sure his media people were happy. You need to move your block in his camera. He had really, really good control of his media briefing. That can send things south so fast if it's done poorly. Probably one of the important things after disaster is that first press briefing.
And back to your earlier example, Eric, the Manawa situation where Mayor Michael's in charge of communication or whatever, so I should be stepping back, but we still want to keep the board.
Oh, yeah.
involved.
no,
So, I mean,
absolutely.
if, even though it's the mayor or town chairman or whatever, it's the kind of the lead person, we still want the contact with the county board. So,
Because we may have to have a special meeting, we may have,
Yeah, you guys are gonna field phone calls.
yeah, exactly.
Your townships, so
everybody should know to direct it to Jesse.
Yeah.
If you guys decide what he's gonna say, then we all talk with Jesse.
Process.
as we work through that training and Eric and I will craft kind of a flow chart a little bit, I think, help, you know, in an incident, what's your role?
Yep.
Where do I play and which direction? I think that'll help.
And to keep the whole board involved.
Correct. That flow of information.
I think everyone over the years has received, put back together elected officials guide. I can send that out. It has the timeline in there. It explains a little bit what the expectations are. Actually doing it.
Practice it once would be good.
Yeah.
And one of the other things we have too, Eric and I, we have it's called Dropbox. We have a subscription to that now. So we can securely put folders on our website that require a password. So we can share information to you without having to send an email, or if we upload it to our website into a secure folder, you can add that password and get all that information as well. So it's just ways that we can get information to you, townships, villages, cities, elected officials a lot quicker. That's why I'm trying to implement that. So if we do have a, let's say, a large scale incident, and we start putting that information in that folder, and it's password secure, it's encrypted, you have a place you can go quickly, get it, you don't have to wait for that email. So we can put that, kind of like a digital EOC really quickly on our website for you. So as that information comes in, it keeps you updated as well.
I think that's a very good suggestion, because there's times when there's gonna be information that we'd like to know, but should not be shared with the general public.
Right.
And, so this will give the opportunity then.
Yep.
What I would suggest is that only you two guys have access to that, and then you guys let the rest of the board know, because you get 26, 27 people with information that shouldn't be spilled.
It's span of
Somebody's
control.
gonna spill.
And it gets spilled.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
span of control. It's like any.
Yeah.
As it grows, it gets wider.
Yeah,
right.
So it's, we gotta make sure we hone that in. But just thinking about longevity, when we started going through Dropbox, Eric and I, when we're off site doing meetings, it's very hard to access our files here, securely and everything else. So that way we went with Dropbox, but it's also where we can, if we need the city of Waupaca to upload documents, they can do. If we have an incident where you guys need to get information quickly. So it just opens the door to a lot of things, and it was cheap. So it'll help us a whole lot. We'll add that into kind of that training mix and flow.
No, probably wouldn't be bad to put it into policy, but that's how we're gonna run it, the board's portion of it.
The only thing I was gonna say that Clintonville incident, the TB weather did a disservice, okay? So that boxed everything up,
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
you know, what do you do?
Yeah, well, we went up there with planning the worst.
I know, but that's, you know what I'm saying, if you watch the TV, you say, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
and it was.
Breaking news.
We had a garbage can tipped over.
Yeah, there was nothing, I mean, you know, Pete, that's the other end of it.
We were going, we took the long way. My navigator here thought it would be fun to go through the eye of the storm. Instead of going around it. So he wanted to see the storm.
Yeah, well, that way you get a true feeling.
Yep.
So-
We got the true feelings.
Storm
Yeah.
chaser.
We did follow
Once
up.
the system and people practice it, the information can get disseminated really quickly so that somebody is in front of the camera telling them what's really happening. That's the whole goal, so you don't get those 4 different stations telling people 4 different things and then 26 supervisors telling 26 different stories. That's
Well, I was always told a lie will circle the world twice before the truth. So those are all things that we had to work on. I think communication's huge in what we do. And we write that into policy, and we also work on flow on how to alert you, who's gonna do what. I think that's gonna help you a lot. We'll practice it too.
And the biggest thing with any media, if you don't know, there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know, but I will find an answer.
Next time, look,
Yeah.
So,
that'll be my answer every time. I don't.
The worst thing is no comment. Yeah, not acceptable.
okay, anything else, any other questions on, report? All right, no other questions, then I guess we're ready to, almost adjourn. Next meeting will be December 8th. With that, need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Supervisor Snyder, Vice Chair Knight,